In this video, I want to go over the steps that you should take to outsource, because it is not something you do on day one, even though most of my clients and most of the students in my courses, they ask me from day one, how do I outsource? Where do I get this done? No, there's a method to it. You can't just outsource blindly.
This video is brought to you by OppiPies Academy.
So you do not want to rush into outsourcing, because you have to establish some internal methods, processes. Make sure that the things you're outsourcing actually are going to end up working before you spend your money. So in the beginning, hire others to teach you, to train you, so you can get a handle on things and so that you can do things on your own, so you can start to think freely within any specific skill in marketing. You want to, at least a little bit in the beginning, do things in-house so you can get sufficient expertise, because without sufficient expertise, you're always going to have a struggle of you're not going to know exactly who to hire, you're not going to know exactly how to evaluate their work, and most importantly, you're not going to be able to tell whether the people you're hiring, whether you're giving them the right work. Because if you give them the wrong work and they do an amazing job, well, it was the wrong work, so it's all wasted. So you want to establish your processes and prove things internally. Just check that things are working and you're not going off belief or hype, but you had an idea for some strategy, you tried it out, it worked, and then now you want to save time. So then once you save time, you automate it or you outsource it by hiring freelancers or anyone else, maybe a contractor or even permanent employee, depending on your situation. But the mistake not to make, the mistake that I see almost everybody make, they hire blindly and hope for the best, because marketing can be boring. People don't always love marketing, and people can't wait to get rid of that task. And there's an army of freelancers ready to take over that task. And people are like, well, hopefully, they call themselves social media marketer, Facebook expert, even SEO expert. And so business owners see that and they're like, oh yeah. Or they see social media marketing agency if it's not a freelancer. So it maybe sounds a little bit more authoritative, like, oh, it's a whole agency. But at the end of the day, if you're hiring, if it's your business, you can't hire blindly. What you have to do is give the freelancers very specific instructions for what to do, and the instructions will come from you understanding that skill, that task, understanding how to do it because you've done it yourself in-house, you've established that expertise, and after you've established that expertise, you're going to be able to give extremely clear instructions, and you're going to be likely to get that task done on budget and according to instructions. If you let the freelancers do whatever they want, they're going to cut all kinds of corners and generally make poor decisions, because at the end of the day, they're relatively junior, especially if you're hiring cheaply. So I know it's frustrating because you might be thinking, oh my God, I was hoping to just outsource it and hand it over to somebody and so they can do it. And now I've just given you all this work. Well, don't worry. It doesn't have to take long. And ultimately, the idea is that you outsource. The idea is that you automate. And the idea is that you spend minimal amount of time on it. It's just the one prerequisite is that you start to understand what you're doing and you have some expertise in-house so that you can hire and automate correctly and accurately, and also pick the right strategies from the get-go. Because the freelancers will very rarely pick the right strategies for you. That's really your job.